Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. And I am back again with another topic that you guys may, totally feel a connection to. So today we're going to decode the twin flame synchronicities in modern technology. So, what are the digital echoes of destiny? So, have you ever felt a glitch in the matrix when thinking of your divine masculine? You're scrolling through your feed, your mind drifts to your divine masculine half a second, and suddenly your divine masculine's name, a song, a memory, or a quote tied to him flashes on your screen. You pause and you know this isn't random. So, welcome to the age of digital synchronicities, right? The newest layer of the twin flame journey, where ancient spiritual codes meet modern logarithm. So, for centuries, divine unions were guided by omens, dreams, numbers, and celestial signs. Today, those same frequencies have evolved, now translating themselves through pixels, notifications, and coincidental posts on your For You page. Because the universe never stops speaking, it only updates its language, right? So, your divine masculine is the soul's original mirror, right? One consciousness expressed through two incarnations. When you and your divine masculine awaken, your shared energy field begins to shape physical reality around you. In this field of resonance, your phones, computers, and digital timelines start acting like mirrors of consciousness, reflecting not just your thoughts, but your shared vibration. So the question isn't, is my phone spying on me? It is the universe using my phone to speak to me? All right, so let's look at the logarithms and the alignments that come with it, right? We often dismiss strange coincidences in our digital spaces as the logarithm being creepy. But what if, at the quantum level, the logarithm itself is a reflection of you? So, let's look at the first law of resonance. How the first law of resonance meets machine learning, right? When you think of your divine masculine, your energetic field sends out a signal, all right? Machine learning systems designed to predict patterns of attention, response to shift in your engagement, micropauses, and dwell time. But beneath that, the energy of the field of a coherence also begins to move. So, what seems like a technological prediction is often a multi dimensional convergence, right? Our consciousness, together with our twin flame, divine masculine's frequency, and digital code interacting in real time. So, I wanted you to look at it in this way, right? So, the coincidental social media suggestion, you think of your divine masculine moments later, his old photo resurfaces, or you're suddenly shown a reel about twin flames, or you get a suggested connection with someone of the same name in your divine masculine sleep. So from the surface, you could argue the app just noticed my search habits, but you didn't reach for your divine masculine that day. You only felt him. So what if the platform, a vast energetic grid built on electromagnetic currents, is sensitive enough to mirror your field? So the law of correspondence teaches us, as within, so without, right? The digital realm built from light and data is another mirror, and our consciousness is the code that animates it. So the ad after a thought. So if you had a fleeting thought about your divine masculine, a longing, a memory, only to see a targeted ad that eerily matches that emotional state. Maybe a ring appears, a vacation spot you both once mentioned, a phrase that sounds like your last conversation. Is it possible your energy is leaking into the digital stream, activating attention based logarithms in resonance with your vibration? Yes, because both thought and technology operate through frequency recognition. The human field is electromagnetic, so is our phone. So the bridge is more literal than you think. So the phenomenon of 1111, 2222, 333, 717, all classic twin flame activations. And they have evolved. Now they appear not just on clocks, but battery percentages. 4477 timestamps on messages, 11:11 p.m. received, file sizes or post likes 222, for example, right? When these sequences flash across your digital interface, they serve the same purpose they always have: to signal alignment between your higher self and present timeline. The difference is our screen has become the new sacred meter. So, the technological divine masculine telepathy, right? So, if the universe can communicate through nature, it can communicate through code. So, the electromagnetic field that connects our consciousness with our divine masculine is the same kind of field that powers our Wi-Fi, right? And just as data travels invisibly through routers, so does love. So music knows, right? So you open Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube Music, and there it is. A song with lyrics that read like your private diary. Like, truly, this I've experienced myself, especially when you're in separation. You'll be hearing a song in a different language, and then you will go and Google Translate, and you will realize, oh my goodness, that's the message my DM has for me. This happens way too much, especially when you are like, you'll be drawn to the music, but you wouldn't even know what the lyrics mean. But then that is your DM speaking to you. So, like a melody that mirrors the exact mood of your last energetic exchange with your divine masculine. So, music is one of the most direct languages of the soul. So, streaming services use algorithms to predict emotional preferences, but our field too emits frequencies that harmonize with those vibrations. So, when the right song finds you, it's not coincidence. It's a coded transmission of emotional calibration. The universe syncing our heart wave to our divine masculine's frequency. So, have you ever seen your divine masculine's name suddenly appearing? You turn on the TV, or, you're Google searching something, or you're on social media and suddenly his name appears. A random comment, a background tag in someone else's photo, a name that just happens to appear in your explore page right after a telepathic search. So, every twin flame knows that strange chill when the name appears. Not from stalking, guys, let me be very clear, but from the field itself rearranging data pathways. Because when energy moves, the universe responds by rearranging probabilities. The algorithm unknowingly becomes our oracle, right? So the shared online obsession. So you both start following the same obscure meme account. You discover you've liked the same video weeks apart, or you find an old forum post that eerily reflects both your inside jokes. In the 5D layer of your connection, your digital behavior begins to overlap naturally because you're drawn by the shared resonance. Even in the vastness of cyberspace, the magnetic pull remains intact. This is tag twin flame telepathy. Our digital lives become subtle extensions of our etheric connection. So you don't need to just message each other. The universe is already creating a digital conversation between you through synchronicity. So how do you decode the digital divine? So with technology, amplifying synchronicities, discernment becomes the new spiritual skill, because not every notification is divine guidance, and not every ad is a message from your divine masculine. To navigate this, you must first cultivate intuitive precision, the ability to feel when something carries charge. So let's look at the frequency of truth. A real synchronicity vibrates differently. It makes your heart expand, your body feel alert, your energy flow upward. It doesn't cause anxiety or obsession. It brings calm knowing. Artificial coincidences feel heavy, they pull you into the mind. The synchronicities lift you into the heart. So, when decoding a digital sign, ask, does this align with my intuition or trigger my fear? Does this feel sacred or compulsive? Is this guiding me toward love or looping into mental obsession? Only the first is divine communication. So, confirmation bias versus cosmic alignment. Psychology teaches us about confirmation bias, right? The mind's tendency to find patterns when none exist. But spirituality reminds us that consciousness itself creates patterns. So the work lies in balancing humility with faith. So when your divine masculine's energy ripples through your digital world, acknowledge both possibilities: the rational, data logarithms reacting to behavior, and the spiritual, the soul feel bending probability. Wisdom is holding both truths without attachment. So let's look at the practice of digital journaling, right? One of the most powerful tools for twin flame awakening today is a digital synchronicity log. So, like, one example is like every time you have a dream, immediately write it down in your notes. That's what I do. So every time you notice a recurring pattern, a number, a name, lyrics, a poet, jot it down with the emotion you felt in the moment. Record keeping is actually good because over time a map forms. You'll notice cycles tied to moon phases, planetary transits, or even your own healing breakthroughs. So what looks like random noise becomes a coherent symphony, your soul's communication stream encoded through technology. So the digital realm is not your enemy, it's your mirror. But like any mirror, it can distort if you stare too long. So, number one, the obsession trap. It's easy to spiral, checking who viewed your story, rereading posts, decoding timestamps, you know. Especially when you are like obsessively looking, did my DM view my story? Something like that. But true union is not built on digital proof, it's built on energetic mastery. The moment your peace depends on a notification, the signal gets distorted. The universe withdraws digital synchronicities when you stop trusting your inner knowing, not as punishment, but as redirection back to your center. Number two, the balanced approach. When synchronicities appear, receive them as blessings, but keep living your 3D life. Meditate, ground, connect to nature, post your art, live your mission. The more you anchor in the physical, the more clearly the digital realm reflects divine precision. Because cosmic consciousness speaks most clearly through an integrated being. So, taking action in the physical, sometimes digital synchronicities are not just confirmations, they are calls to action. A post about forgiveness after a conflict might be a cue to release resentment. A song about reunion may signal that your heart is ready to open. Follow the energy, not the platform, because while the message comes through Wi-Fi, the transformation happens in your soul. So what is the hidden architecture when the universe uses technology? So to understand this phenomenon fully, we must look at technology not as man-made, but as an extension of cosmic consciousness itself. Every device you hold operates through light, frequency, and code. Photons and binary data are the modern expression of divine geometries, right? So when you use technology consciously, it becomes a temple of reflection. So the internet, you can look at it as an astral plane in that regard, right? Because the internet is a collective thought form of humanity. It mirrors the astral realm, full of projections, desires, illusions, and higher truths. So just as clairvoyants, you know, we like we pick information through the Akashic records, we read symbols in clouds or dreams, as psychics we're accessing the cosmos. You can also receive visions through digital interfaces depending on your interpretation. So every like, scroll, and click creates an energetic footprint. So when twin flames awaken, their shared field begins shaping the digital astral, guiding content to mirror the healing process. So, what is the role of technology and algorithms? Right? Technology is not random. It learns through attention, right? And attention is energy. When twin flames concentrate, collective emotional charge around each other, the digital matrix adapts, surfacing related imagery, words, and patterns. The mystical perspective, the universe repurposes man made systems to carry divine codes. The psychological perspective, your reticular activating system, the brain's pattern filtering mechanism turns to perceive what makes your energetic state. Both are true, both are beautiful. So, how to work with digital synchronicities? Pause before reacting. When something catches your eye, don't rush to interpret. Let your intuition lead before your logic explains. Number two, ask for validation. If the sign is genuine, the universe will repeat it within 24 to 48 hours through a different medium, dream, song, conversation. Number three, avoid overtracking. The more you chase, the faster your DM fades. Synchronities thrive in surrender. Number four, bless the signal. Each time a digital synchronicity appear like 1111 on your phone, say internally, I receive this in grace. Gratitude keeps the channel pure. Use discernment tools. Number five, the final stage. Genuine signs bring peace. False projection creates anxiety. Real synchronicities open your heart. Illusions close it. So, what is the real world integration from digital signs to soul growth, right? So, a common trap. Sorry, guys, about that. There was a technical glitch and I was cut off. Something wrong with the mic. But again, glitches are communication. So as I was talking about the real world integration, right, like from digital science to soul growth, a common trap is mistaking communication for confirmation. So that's exactly what I think my mic was trying to do. Just because our divine masculine's energy shows up online doesn't mean it's time to message him. Remember that, that's a mistake, a big mistake that you might often find yourself making, because often the digital bridge is used by our higher selves to synchronize emotional growth, to show that both of us are moving through parallel lessons. So when you see your divine masculine's name pop up, instead of rushing into action, ask, what emotion was I feeling right before this appeared? That's the real message. The sign isn't about our divine masculine, it's about our energetic alignment with our divine masculine. So, for example, you see 1111 while doubting your worth, cosmic consciousness says, you are enough. You see your divine masculine's name after releasing anger, cosmic consciousness says your field is open again. You hear your song after forgiving your divine masculine. Cosmic consciousness says reunion codes are activated. So the outer reflection simply affirms the inner evolution. So let's go deeper, right? The quantum mechanics of digital synchronicity. So let's go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? Beyond metaphors and metaphors, beyond the metaphor and beyond metaphors into energy physics. So every thought produces a scalar wave, a non-linear vibration that interacts with the quantum field. Technology, especially wireless system, operates through electromagnetic waves. So when human thought, scalar thought, meets digital energy, electromagnetic, an interference pattern occurs, a field echo, right? So, as twin flames, as monadic twin flames, we are split in the 13th dimension in the cosmic egg. one soul split into two bodies, and we produce harmonized waveforms, right? So our combined resonance subtly reorganizes electromagnetic environments affecting timing, algorithms, and even digital probability. That's probabilities. That's why you get a text the moment you think of your divine masculine. A sign, not a text per se, but a sign. That's why, the chances of your divine masculine's post showing up first, despite you not interacting. You dream of your divine masculine after seeing his name on a random ad. These are quantum feedback loops. You're literally bending the digital timelines through shared consciousness. So I want to share a few examples, like case studies from the field itself, and the song phenomenon is a big one. Like, for example, you hear the same song 5 times in one day in your friend's car radio, and then when you're going to work, when you're coming back from work, in your computer, on the radio, in the mall, like literally in your YouTube auto playlist, and then like all that. And then you will realize the lyrics reflect like your divine masculine's unspoken apology. That's not coincidence, it's a multi-platform synchronicity orchestrated by our higher selves. Number two, the battery signal, right? So sometimes you might see like 33%. Every time you'd feel your divine masculine's presence when you see like 31% or 33% or any percentage. So eventually you will learn that there is a connection to that number. The message is that our connection is charging again. Energy speaks symbolically. The digital interface merely translates it into numbers. So, for example, it could even be like your divine masculine lending you his charging cable, and you would notice that in the initial stages he might have lent it to you and given it to you eventually, and when the separation phase starts, the wire would stop working. So these are like signs, like literal signs. Number three, the algorithm mirror. So sometimes you might receive videos or reels about like letting him go to let him return, kind of, and after weeks of resistance, you will notice that you're surrendering, and then your DM will message you. See, the algorithm was actually, the algorithm is actually reflecting your soul lesson in real time. The divine doesn't always use tarot or astrology. Sometimes it uses TikTok or YouTube or Facebook. So the evolution of science, this is the fun part, right? From feathers to feeds, like literally, feathers, seeing a black feather, a gray feather, or white feather. Centuries ago, science came as feathers, right? Songs on the wind, animals crossing the path. Now they appear as your divine masculine's initial in a username, a random reel caption saying he still loves you, a YouTube thumbnail reading he's coming back, right after your meditation or grounding or gardening, right? So the medium has changed, the message has not. Cosmic consciousness will always find the most accessible channel through which you'll listen. In a technology dominated age, that channel is our screen. So the task for the awakening twin flame is not to reject technology as distraction, but to sanctify it as reflection. That is the key. So remember this, guys. Our devices can become sacred tools when used with intention. Let me repeat that again. Our devices can become sacred tools when used with intention. Our feed can become a prophecy board when viewed with detachment. Viewed with detachment, guys. Our inbox can become a mirror for our soul's growth when read through higher awareness. So that's when, from obsession, you shift to observation, the art of digital detachment. So that's why when twin flames, when we first awaken, our psychic senses heighten. We become hyper aware of signs, but the ego quickly turns awareness into control. If I can interpret every post, I can predict his return, right? that's when the connection begins to distort. The real mastery lies in witnessing without grasping. The divine doesn't need you to decode every message, it needs you to stay aligned with love while observing your divine masculine. So try this. When a sign appears, breathe deeply once. Smile, whisper, I see universe, universe, and then move on with your day. This keeps your frequency high because when you stop clutching for proof, the proof multiplies. And your question may be, why digital synchronicities intensify before union? Just before physical reunion, the number and intensity of synchronicities often skyrocket. Why? Because the energetic fields of both twin flames, us and our divine counterpart, us and our divine masculine, begin to merge at the quantum level, creating interference patterns in all electromagnetic spaces, including digital ones. You may notice messages appearing twice, seeing your divine masculine's online status flicker on and off, posts disappearing and reappearing, random glitches when you think of your divine masculine. These are not technological bugs, they are visions of field overlap. Reality literally starts bending to accommodate the fusion of our timelines, right? But remember, the goal isn't to chase the glitch. It's to embody the frequency that creates it. So, excuse me, what are the practical integration? Turning technology into a sacred tool. Number one, cleanse your digital field. This is very, very important. Unfollow accounts that trigger fear or comparison. Your algorithm is your altar. Curate it consciously. Number two, set energetic intention before logging in. Whisper, may what I see today reflect only love and alignment. Number three, use technology for creation, not fixation. Post your wisdom, not your wounds. Share love frequency. The algorithm responds to vibration. Number four, schedule digital fast. Step away regularly to let your natural telepathy recalibrate. The less noise, the clearer the signal. Number five, build your digital temple. A folder or notes app where you save only the synchronicities that genuinely uplift your soul. Like taking screenshots of angel numbers, right? Over time, this becomes a library of proof, not of obsession, but of divine orchestration. So, this is the future of divine communication. We're entering an era where technology and spirituality are no longer separate. AI, algorithms, technology, networks are conduits for higher communication. But however, you have to use it wisely because consciousness itself is upgrading. As we evolve, our devices will begin to mirror our energetic state even more precisely. Holographic calls, technological readings, predictive texts, all of it will be part of a new multidimensional interface where thought, energy, and data converge. Remember, as twin flames, we are the pioneers of this new paradigm. Our union isn't just about romance, it's about teaching humanity how consciousness interacts with code. So, the next time you think of your divine masculine and see his name flicker across your screen, pause before dismissing it. You are witnessing the sacred in motion. Divine conversing through data. This isn't separation, it's new mysticism because technology is not replacing spirituality, it's refining it, revealing it. So that's why our phone, our laptop, our feet are all extensions of light, all reflections of consciousness, all part of the great mirror where our soul speaks to itself. In the end, digital synchronicities are not proof of our divine masculine's presence. They are reminders of our own awakening state, proof that energy has reached a frequency where even code must respond. And that, dear one, is how infinity now speaks through Wi-Fi, algorithms, and the heartbeat of a universe still madly in love with its own reflection. That's why the universe is updating its language from feathers to feeds, from stars to screen. The question is, are you awake enough to read it? Because that's a very, very important thing. The balance between observing these signs and taking real world action. That's why modern technology, surprisingly, can be a powerful tool for spiritual insight and connection. So that's why, as we are wrapping up this discourse, think about those moments when you scroll through social media and seen a comment that felt impossibly specific to your life, or had a song pop up in your recommendations just as you were thinking about your divine masculine. What if these aren't coincidence, but digital breadcrumbs from your divine masculine? So that's the reason why this discourse is about appreciating this aspect of a life with technology right now as well. That's why it's not about forgetting ancient scrolls and mystical visions. It's about integrating them, because our divine masculine, especially if you're in separation phase, might be trying to connect with you through your Instagram feed. That's right, the language of divine connection has evolved and speaking to us through algorithms and digital coincidences. So get ready to view all of this from a perspective of being, all right? And remember, your perspective on technology and density is completely transforming as I speak. New technologies are coming in. And remember, the most profound spiritual wisdom is that the inner wisdom is always within. The external is meant to inspire you. Teachers like me are meant to inspire the inner teacher within you. So is technology. Remember, guys, these external reminders, external coincidences are to remind us of our own internal power. So that's why the next time you see 1111 on your phone, appreciate it. Don't get obsessed about it, but appreciate it, honor it. So the next time you see a photo pop up on your divine masculine's Facebook after years, if you feel triggered, be triggered. But after that, look at it and think of it. There was nothing to be triggered about except the mirroring that we feel. With that, guys, remember, decoding twin flame synchronicities in modern technology is the way to go. So you may still be seeing a feather while you're walking down the street, but you could also see a digital feather. Remember, these are all signs from the universe anyway. All right? Because advancement, evolution, even technology is a reflection of our internal. Like all that we have created outside they have all come from within, like telepathy to astral traveling to teleportation and all that. It's available externally, and then soon it's going to be available internally. It's all about the expression of the soul. So with that, I'll see you all again with another discourse. I hope you've enjoyed this one. So do share in the comments, how has technology affected your journey. Secondly, if you guys want to work one-on-one with me, you can book for a session via the description box through my website. All my sessions are conducted by me one-on-one via video call, so you can ask me all the questions that you are looking for answers. And also, I still have spots for the 1111 portal healing and activations. So if you guys are interested, do check out the link in the description box. With that, love you all always, and see you all again soon. Take care and bye-bye.